All right, ladies and gentlemen, what is up? We are back, and as you guys can tell, we're both oosed out.
Oosed out, a.k.a. Uso Penitentiary. Rocking gear head to toe, representing Umaga.
Yes.
He was a favorite of mine.
Definitely,
He was
man.
a huge favorite of mine. The Samoan Dynasty. This is a Uso type of day. But, Arnold, I got to be honest with you. I'm very excited to be receiving such a prestigious award.
Right, the Vanguard Award.
The Vanguard Award,
yeah.
and I'm ready for it. You know I'm ready.
Yeah,
I stay
man.
ready, so I ain't got to get ready.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been doing a lot of interviews, and people always ask me, how come the Darren Young angle didn't work? I get so tired of talking about it,
Mm-hmm.
not in a bad way,
Right.
but it's like, man, it wasn't my fault.
Mm-hmm.
You remember Gene Snitsky?
Yo, the baby. It wasn't my fault.
It wasn't my fault, man. I tried.
Yeah.
It's just unfortunate,
Yeah.
The game said I couldn't use the crossface chicken wing.
Yeah.
Now, these wrestling outlets and these media outlets, they don't praise the advocacy work I do. They praise me talking about crying like a little bitch backstage. But I have every right, man. When you have your childhood hero at home in dirty Jersey,
Right.
when you have pictures of Chris Jericho, Hulk Hogan, Kurt Angle, and Triple H, it's like that saying, never meet your heroes because you might get disappointed, you might get let down. I'm like, damn, man.
Right.
I can't use a cross, and the truth's the truth, I've had fun in WWE, man. I really did. But the truth, when someone asked me, how come it didn't work, it wasn't my fault. I couldn't use the crossface chicken wing.
Right. And the reason why there's a lot of media outbursts in that today is because the other day you told me that you did an interview with Chris Van Vliet, right?
Yes.
And that's kind of like the first time that you publicly told your story.
Sure. And it's the truth. And Chris gave me an opportunity to tell my story. I had watched a few interviews that he did.
He's great.
One of them that really caught my eye was with the Usos.
Yeah.
At one of their signings, Cricket Wireless.
That was a fun one, man.
Yeah.
They answered everything at the exact same time. Twin magic. Is that what the Bella called that? Like twin magic? No, the Usos
like
got the twin magic, man.
I was cracking up. And Chris can't tell them apart. I'm like, what the hell? I can tell them apart. Can you tell them apart?
Totally tell them apart.
They
have two different faces to me, man.
Yeah, they have two different faces. And Josh, Jey Uso's the more quiet one.
Right.
He's silent but deadly. He's silent
just
but
like
deadly.
A fart.
And Jimmy Uso, John, he's like
Yeah.
the comedy one. He makes me piss my pants. I had seen him not at Survivor Series that we went to, but I think it was the Raw or SmackDown. That Tuesday. I went backstage again, and he's a guy that I can be in the worst of moods, and he always lifts me up. I remember when we were on tour, and I had just broke up with my boyfriend at the time, Nikki. And I was just on tour, the tour bus. I was mentally, I was done, man. I was done.
Yeah.
I'm just sitting on the tour bus, just like I sit when we go on tour. I always sit in the middle because the front of the tour bus is where all the Domino's guys, the old timers,
Domino's.
yeah, it's the merchandise guys.
Yeah.
They do their thing up front, and the middle people are either reading or sleeping, and then the back of the bus,
Where the party at?
that's where the party's at, And the big dog is running that party.
Oh, I'm sure, man.
It's all fun in a good way. You see how all the Samoans have ties?
Yeah.
They hit hard, but they hit safely. And it's always a pleasure being in the ring with them. Jimmy Uso, he just cracks me up. Like I was saying, when we were on tour, Jimmy Uso, he's a comedian, and he cheered me up when I broke up with my ex, and he was like, "Hey, yo, Us, man, you all right? You good?" I said, "Nah, man, I just, I'm having trouble with my ex. We broke up." He's like, "Us, you want me to take care of him for you?" I'm like, what the hell? if I would have said, yeah, I know those guys are my heart and soul, man.
Yeah.
They are my heart and soul. I remember I got signed May 4th, 2009.
Okay.
And they might have came in, I don't know, July, August.
Mm-hmm.
Don't take my word for it, but they came in soon after me.
Yeah.
And immediately we were connected. These guys would stay after. I was relentless in the wrestling game, and I still am. So I would stay after. Let's say if a training session is from 9 to 11:30, 12, we would stay till 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. The
Right.
Usos, just getting those reps in. And believe it or not, I think these guys might have been, grinding, maybe doing a little bit of independence, but they were dishwashers, and now look at them.
I know.
Never say never. I was scooping ice cream, so I could say that about them. I was scooping ice cream.
Well, I think they were working at like their family's like furniture company or something.
Oh,
and
they
were
were?
like in the warehouse, like building all these like furnitures and doing like heavy work too. Like they were being physical as well. But
okay, well, I mean, again, getting your hands dirty. I was scooping ice cream, so we had to do whatever we had to do.
Yeah,
and. They came into FCW in Tampa, Florida, and I instantly fell in love with them. I loved working with them. They were very creative. They were type of guys where when we're planning something, I might start off a part of a sentence and they can finish it, and vice versa.
Yeah.
And they're light as can be.
Yep.
They,
from what I hear,
when I go out there, it's real to me. People try to make me laugh and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's very rare to make me laugh in the ring. I take it seriously. I'm in a fight.
Have you ever broke though?
Who's made me laugh?
The Colognes, maybe. Heath.
Probably Heath. You know my guys I like. Probably Heath because he always gets rocked silly.
Yeah.
In the ring, he don't know where the hell he is. I told you, we're putting stuff together and he's always forgetting. I'm like, damn it, Heath, you're making me nervous because I want to be able to deliver. I'm always my worst critic, so I have to look out for you and me and stuff like that. But the Usos, we would stay later and just have so much fun and then work together in FCW, on NXT, SmackDown. When we made our debut, Titus and I, we wrestled them. We got signed by John Laurinaitis. We wrestled them, and they were so nice enough to put us over and stuff like that.
Right.
But when they came in, they didn't have trunks or anything like that. So at the time, they were going to get it eventually, but they might have had some. They got brought in, and they had to wrestle. So you need gear.
Yeah.
So at the time, my old gear had the letter F on the side of it for Fred Sampson.
Okay.
Bone Crusher Fred Sampson.
It's a great gimmick.
Yeah, I was like this, brother. I was jacked, 280 pounds. So I had the F on the side. Yeah. And they were, Fatu's, that's their last name.
Yep.
Jimmy and Jay Fatu. And I brought them tights that had the F on it, and that was like their first pair of FCW trunks.
That's dope.
Long tights. They
sharing is caring, right?
Sharing is caring. And from then on, they would always be like, Oosh, I got you with money. I got you with the money for years, Wow. I'm like, what the hell? And then a couple times I was able to bring family backstage, and they were just so kind to them. My one little big fan, the huge leader of the Block Hate movement, Romy Romes, who we're actually gonna definitely have him and his family on our podcast so they can share their backstage stories being with me at WWE. But we won't tell. I think he's 6 years old now. We won't tell. We won't tell the 6-year-old Romy Romes until after that. Buddy, you were on your first pro wrestling podcast because if we tell him ahead of time, he might freeze up. Sure. So we'll get him and his parents to tell their stories about being backstage, their perspective on the business. Yeah. So I was able to bring Romy Romes backstage, and the Usos painted his face, and they were just so kind to him. And
John's the one that does the painting, right? Or both of them? Are they good at it?
I think they're both good at it.
Okay.
All right. I think they're pretty good at it. But I think they paint each other's face though.
Yeah, that's what I heard. That's why I asked.
Yeah, they paint each other's face. So sometimes I've seen the merchandise people that work with us backstage. They know certain guys know how to draw, so they sometimes they would do it.
Nice.
The more intricate stuff. So yeah, they were just so kind to Romy Rome. So one of the Usos was like, "Hey man, I still got same thing. Hey man, I still got you for them trunks you got me." I said, "Hey,
man.
Listen man, it's paid in full. It's paid in full because you treat my people so nicely." And I think we're going to talk about road stories too. With these guys,
Well, actually, we already kind of touched on the Usos, but we'll get back to them. But this is what this episode is going to be about. It's about the whole Samoan wrestling dynasty. Now, I respect all the wrestling families, right? But in my personal opinion, I feel like the Samoan dynasty is like the best wrestling family of all time. Okay. Because you've got the Rhodes, you got the Hearts, and they're iconic, they're legendary. But at the same time, I don't want to butcher it, but the Anoa'i family, the Samoan family, there are a lot of them. There is a gluttony of them that made it to the business, and not only made it to the business, but became really successful. A few of them became WWE champions, tag team champions. So for me, it's a no-brainer. When I think of wrestling family, I think of the Samoan Dynasty. So that's what this episode is going to be about. We're going to do our best to run down the family tree and, talk about their accomplishments. But this is a fun episode because both Fred and myself are such huge fans of a lot of, if anything, everyone in the family, right?
Yes, absolutely.
You have to start it off with the Chief, High Chief Peter Maivia. He's the one that started it all, man.
He's the OG.
He's the OG. And I think he worked with Vince when it was the Worldwide Wrestling Federation, if I'm not mistaken.
WWF, right?
Yeah. So he's kind of like the first one that expanded the Samoan Dynasty. And I saw his tribal tattoos. And man, it's literally from underneath his nipples to his thighs. That is the worst place to get a tattoo. Have you seen his tat?
I'd have to see pictures.
But it's a traditional Samoan tattoo. I don't know if only the Chief gets that tattoo, but he literally has tattoo right under his nipples, and it goes all the way down his thighs. That has to hurt, man. I can't even imagine.
I'm dying to get my chest and my one arm done. Who knows?
Yeah.
I don't know. I got my one tattoo I have on my arm.
Right.
11th grade. I was...
Me too. Me too. First tat, junior year. Mm-hmm.
And I went with my mom at a tattoo convention. Now, I wasn't leaving that bitch until I got a tattoo.
Yeah, man.
And I remember this one hurting. And I was like, damn, I don't want to go through that pain again.
Yeah.
But I know Randy had told me, Randy Orton said that to do one arm is 3 8-hour sessions.
Or for a full sleeve, I guess, yeah.
And that's what I want, man. I want to add some stuff to me.
And you want to eat while you're taking eating breaks too, because you might get lightheaded with all the blood you're losing.
I don't care. I do intermittent fasting. I don't eat till 4 p.m. So I want to wake up and get my tattoo.
You say that now, and you'll see on your 3rd hour,
how am I going to pass out? I'm not going to pass out.
Wow, so confident, man.
I'm a grown ass man.
All right, we'll see. We'll see. Now you have to record yourself getting a tattoo, and you have to be a man of your word and not take any eating breaks.
I'd like to get it done. I'm nervous, man. Jeez.
Yeah, it's definitely time consuming for sure. Because for me, even my first tattoo was just a little covering my shoulder, and that was 3 hours, and it was just literally a sun with the symbol in the middle. But anyways, High Chief Peter Maivia, man. I feel like he's one of those guys that can be loved and feared at the same time, right?
Yeah, of course.
I've seen obviously I've seen pictures of him, and to me he really looks like Dwayne Johnson, man. Obviously that's The Rock's grandpa, but I don't know, he has that Dwayne smile, that Hollywood smile, you know. So he started the family dynasty, and then after him, so I saw this online and I don't know what it means.
You did your homework?
I did my homework, but it says the Wild Samoans, Afa and Sika, are High Chief Peter Maivia's blood brothers. So I don't know what that means. Blood brothers, does that mean they're just really like tight homies and like we're not family related, but we're blood brothers.
Yeah,
or
they're probably just blood brothers, like legit, right? No,
but they said that Peter Maivia is an extending family member and not fully in the family. So I don't know. Maybe you guys know. Let us know in the comment section or whatever. But
there you go.
Yeah, but it says that they're blood brothers. So that's their tie with the Wild Samoans, Alpha and Sika, the former 3-time WWE Tag Team Champion. Did you remember watching them as a kid?
Hell
the Wild
no,
Samoans?
Man. Hell no.
See me too.
When you started talking about High Chief, I was like a deer in the headlights. Oh shoot, man.
No, same.
Damn, like.
No.
So I'm just like, yeah. Like, damn it, you did your homework. The professor of pro wrestling.
But High Chief Peter Maivia, I haven't seen one match from him. Wild Samoans, I know this was already in like the Hulk Hogan days, but I still haven't seen any like tag matches from them. But they're 3-time tag champs.
I know it's out there. The network's not working, huh?
It's working on my laptop. That's a whole nother podcast. But the Wild Samoans, Alpha and Sika. When I think of the Samoan family, I think of tag team wrestling, and that's because of obviously the Wild Samoans and all the great tag teams that came afterwards, after them. So they definitely started the glue, that holds everything together. And I didn't know this wrestler exists, shame on me, until like last year. Tonga Kid. Are you aware of this guy?
Yeah, I was a big fan of him. I seen him in WCW, probably the NWA. Yeah, because Tonga Kid and Rikishi were part of the Samoan SWAT team.
In WCW?
Yeah, WCW. Maybe it was NWA. NWA turned into WCW, but yeah.
I didn't know Rikishi was ever in WCW.
Oh yeah.
Wow,
he's
really?
an OG. That's why I love him. Tonga Kid in his prime, he was good looking, man. He was a good looking.
I saw old pictures. Like he looked like a cruiserweight a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, these are some of the guys that were so innovative, and we can probably find some stuff online to watch.
Yeah,
like we always do.
Yeah. What were their tights like? What was their outfit in WCW?
It was like Umagas. They were like thinner versions of Umagas.
But it goes down a little bit to their knee, kind of.
Yeah, the knee.
Okay, wow.
And they had like They had some like flowery stuff for
the culture.
Yeah. Yep.
Speaking of the culture, you want to show them what you're wearing right now?
Yeah.
He's ready, man. He's ready.
I got my lava baby.
It's a teal or aqua lava that he's wearing. And explain what a lava is.
Damn, you put me on the spot again. All I know is I'm gonna be straight up with you. My homegirl, Tamina Serona Snuka, she would always have them, and I remember seeing wrestlers wear them, Samoan wrestlers wear them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, that's really cool, Serona. That's really cool. Can you get me one? You can't get them here in the States. I guess only when you go to Honolulu, you can get the really authentic ones.
Okay, that's cool.
Don't take my word on it, but that's where she got mine. So this was my first lava. My favorite color is blue, so she got it for me. And I was like, oh, wow. And it's so convenient because sometimes when you go from city to city and you land, sometimes you go right to the arena. You don't go to the hotel, so you don't have like a towel. You know, I like to bring a towel because the arenas sometimes don't have towels.
Right.
So I always travel with my lava. So if you don't have a towel, you can use that. Or if you want to disrobe real quick, it's just very, very convenient for me.
That's cool,
especially at the beach. So I'm just so hooked on them. So this was my first lava from Serona, Tamina Snuka, and now I have like 5 of them. The other ones at home. This is like one of my favorite ones. Like,
that's a nice one.
Yeah, I just bring them all.
It's very manly.
Yeah, I mean, I have all different colors. I just love it.
Yeah,
I just love it.
Question: have you ever seen the episode of MTV Punk'd when they punked The Rock? And he was in a set of his movie trailer.
Yeah, he was on the set.
And he was wearing like a lava, or he was explaining to some of the cast members what a lava is, and he was practicing like a dance scene, like a traditional Polynesian like dance, and that's when he got punked.
Yeah.
And, so you saw that?
Yeah, he got pissed.
Yeah.
Like the guy was like, oh well, you know, he was pissed. Right?
I remember like he's like,
what happened?
You might like the guy was like, oh like you might want to stop doing that and then The Rock goes, or what?
Exactly.
Or what?
Yeah.
And he started moving forward. I was
so
if
nervous.
I was the other guy, I would just die right there.
Yeah.
He looked like The Rock looked like he was gonna eat him alive. Man.
Yeah.
And that's when he had like the goatee and everything.
It was scary.
That was crazy.
I remember that. Yeah, that's what the verbiage was. Or what?
Yeah.
Or what?
Yeah.
He went crazy.
But then as soon as the cameras came out, it's back to the smiling Dwayne. Like, good sport, you know. But
yeah.
But it's cool to see if like The Rock can like turn it on when like, you know, when things need to be handled.
Yeah, that was a scary version of that.
Yeah. So Tonga Kid, apparently he's a nephew to the Wild Samoans. Again, I'm like trying to figure out how they're all connected. And then after Tonga Kid, it was the next batch is the Headshrinkers, right? Uh-huh. And that's Fatu and Samu. Fatu, or also known as Rikishi, down the line. And I wasn't quite sure how's Samu, maybe? Samu, my bad. Samu, okay. Mm-hmm. I don't know how he's fully related, but apparently he's the son of Alpha, and I didn't know that.
Yeah, I believe so.
And was it Alpha that managed Headshrinkers or Sika? Because I remember the Headshrinkers had... Sika, okay, yeah. Gotcha.
He managed them.
That's cool.
And WXW, those guys have a school in Allentown, Pennsylvania. And it was like the first wrestling school that I actually did shows for, and I actually wrestled in a 20x20 ring.
Wow.
And that's the ring WWE uses. I was trained in a 16. 16x16, so it's very small. You know, the distance is very short. WWE is like so much freedom to just bounce around and move around.
Was it a hard adjustment to move
for me? It was because I'm all about ring psychology and movement. The first when I see people in the ring at clinics, the first thing I look at is their feet. If their feet are crossing over one another, I'm like,
he can't work.
No, not that. I'm not an old timer like, he can't work. We got to work on that, improve on that. You know, if an amateur wrestler has experience doing amateur wrestling, that's great because you can incorporate that into your sports entertainment.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I want to help people correct stuff. If you're crisscrossing your feet, but you have $1 million body, I'm like, hey man, you got to have a presence. If you're 6'8", you have to look like you're 7 feet tall. You can't be all down here like that.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah, you know, so I love giving advice and critiques.
Okay. That's nice, man. So after the Headshrinkers, this is when I'm starting to get familiarized, because this is around my time when I started watching wrestling. Okay, next is Yokozuna, who are the cousins, the Headshrinkers. And this whole time, obviously, I thought Yoko was always Japanese. He could pass for Japanese when he had a baby face, no beard.
And he didn't talk either.
Yeah, he didn't talk. So he looked like just like a tan Japanese guy.
Yes.
And he was really, really believable. And I used to be so scared of him as a kid, man.
And you know how much of a WWE veteran mark I am? Look at these socks. Yokozuna socks. I've worn them a few times.
He's holding a Yokozuna sock that's like, has his picture, a little bit of the little design, the Japanese design with the red and white stripes.
I love these graphic socks. I did a signing a little while ago at the Wrestling Guy store.
Oh, is this... Wait, it's signed, huh? Did you say it was signed? Too. Oh, wow.
Well, he didn't sign it, but I guess
it's part of the sock.
Yeah, it's part of the sock.
Got it.
Oh, no, it wasn't signed.
I was like, whoa.
I don't think I would be wearing them if they were signed by him. But the Wrestling Guy store was so kind to give me some merchandise. So I got a pair of Yokozuna socks, and I got a Natty Neidhart doll.
Nice. Don't call it a doll. Action figure.
Yeah, I hated it. When my family would call it a doll, I hated it because it reminded me, it's not a girl doll.
Right.
You know, it's an action figure. Yeah. Action figure. So they would tease me all the time. Doll, wrestling doll.
Same with my family.
So me being a WWE veteran mark I am, I said, I'm going to get these socks. And because I love these graphic socks, and I was a huge fan of Yokozuna. Yokozuna, when he used to drop that leg.
Oh my gosh.
People, I would, like the WWE veteran mark I am, I would record it and I would rewind it to see
how he curves his legs.
Yeah, how he curves his legs. And like, man, if he hit me with that, I would love to just sell that. You know? Like he smushed my face, but he was smooth as butter in the ring. I don't know if we have watched a match with him.
No, we haven't.
I love watching him and Shawn Michaels.
Me too. Those Coliseum videos. Yeah,
exactly.
That's right.
Bingo, like him and 1-2-3 Kid or whoever.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
He stayed in the middle, and that's something that I talk to a lot of big guys about when I try to give advice to them. Again, it's all ice cream, just different flavors.
Right.
Sometimes just stay in the middle, and I'll come to you.
Yeah.
Tell that story. And it's very fun watching him. Very, very fun watching him. And I loved my top Yokozuna moment was probably two. WrestleMania 10 and also WrestleMania 9. WrestleMania 9 when he lost the title to Hogan, but he wrestled Bret Hart.
Other way, right? Oh yeah, you're right. He wrestled Bret Hart.
Bret and Yoko.
Right.
Yoko stole the title, and then Hogan came to save the day.
That's
and
right.
then Mr. Fuji, Hulk Hogan! Hulk Hogan, you yellow belly! My Yokozuna issue you a challenge. And then
you're the king of impersonations, dude. You got so many under your belt.
And that's what Chris said.
That's really cool.
That's what Chris said.
On WrestleMania 9, did Yoko come in as champion or did Bret come in as champion? Yoko. Did Yoko what?
Bret came in as champion.
Okay, it was Bret. All right.
And then Yoko won, and then that title turned over really quick. That's when Hogan had the messed up eye.
Yeah, I think we kind of touched on that. He had the black eye. And
I thought as a kid, maybe the AOL, through AOL, that he dumbbell something fell on his face or something. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. We still don't know.
Maybe it was like during his set of like Thunder in Paradise. Something went wrong or something.
Maybe.
You know? He got injured. Doing his own stunts. Who knows?
Wait, so I wonder if that building is that where they're going to have AEW at?
I'm not sure.
Because that's where the next pay-per-view is or something like that in Vegas. I wonder if that's where it's at. I'm not sure.
It's going to be MGM, isn't it?
MGM? Oh, okay.
Yeah, MGM Grand.
All right. It'd be cool if they did it outdoors.
Yeah.
Like I said,
you love outdoor
events. I love
events.
the outdoor stuff.
Yeah.
I love outdoor stuff.
To me, it makes it more. It adds so much of another level when they're outdoor because you see like the wind blowing in their hair.
Yes.
And, like when WWE would do like tribute to the troops.
Yes.
And I saw the Shawn Michaels versus Triple H match, and just like it was kind of like a no disqualification match, and like the wind was just like blowing everywhere. It just makes it look like almost like a real fight, or like you were watching a live like a scene from a movie, you know.
Yes.
That was cool, man.
The hair just
flipping.
Just flowing.
For like Yokozuna with his match with Shawn Michaels, just like Shawn with Tatanka, like they have like a set choreography that they always do because I've seen it more than once. Yoko would do closesline and Shawn would duck, and he does this thing where Shawn like pats like the back of his like cheeks, like Yoko's butt, and he gets pissed, and then it's kind of like cat and mouse chase.
Those same matches I've stole stuff from when I'm working with one of guys Fala.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure you've seen it.
Impact Wrestling.
From Impact, I steal those Yoko spots and make them my own.
He reminds me so much of Yoko and Rikishi, man.
Yeah, he moves so well. Moves so well, and I helped train him. I was like helping him bump, showing him how to bump, showing him ring psychology, and now he's doing his thing.
And I think it's cool because he's actually not full Samoan. He's half Filipino too.
Half Filipino.
Man, that's a great like childhood. Like so many good food, like Filipino upbringing, like Filipino food, and like Hawaiian or Samoan food or whatever. Oh my gosh, that's a lot of carbs, man.
Yes.
That's good stuff. But yeah, Yokozuna. Actually, the first time I saw Yokozuna on TV was when he was aligned with Jim Cornette and Owen Hart and the Bulldog with Camp Cornette. So that was my first glimpse of Yoko. He already had the beard, and then obviously I watched I would go to Blockbuster and like rent old wrestling videos and found out, oh my gosh, this guy used to be a main eventer. He wrestled in WrestleManias. Mm-hmm. But at the time on TV, he was like part of the Camp Cornette, which is really cool. I like around that time, I think WWE was really worried because he packed on like so much weight, right?
They were billing him like, man, he's tipping the scales at 644. Like, what were the numbers? I
heard it was like 5 something.
5. I think it might have hit 6 at one time. I'm like, wow. I don't know how true that is, but that is impressive.
Yeah, but it got to the point where WWE got worried and wanted him to lose weight because he was getting a little like too dangerous. Not like dangerous to other people, but to himself. To his heart, you know?
Sure. And you know who would ride him around? Because he couldn't ride. He couldn't ride like, I don't think he could ride himself.
Fatu?
Mark Henry.
No way.
Mark Henry would always drive Yoko around.
The veteran and the rookie, huh?
Yeah, exactly. Because
rite of passage.
Yeah, Mark Henry started in 97.
96.
Is that what? Well,
when he came in as like they showed him as 96. The Olympic weightlifter. He was wearing red, white, and blue, and he was wrestling Jerry Lawler.
Was it in 96 or 97?
96, yeah.
Yeah, so Yoko was there, and Mark was riding him around. So
that's cool, man.
I've been able to hear stories about riding Mark Henry, having to pick up like a bunch of chicken, like buckets of chicken.
Jeez. Like fried chicken?
Yeah, fried chicken. Yeah, a bunch of fried chicken.
Wow.
And bringing it back to the hotel or the arena and stuff like that. So, yeah, he's one guy along with like Owen Hart I wish like I could have actually met.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So, Mark has some great stories about Yoko.
You know, there's one rare shoot footage of Yoko
talking, right?
Yeah, you saw it too?
Yeah, was he sitting down?
Yes.
Yeah, I just seen it recently.
Yeah, and what do you think? That was like 97 or 96?
Probably.
Yeah.
He wasn't with WWE, he said. He was like
98 then.
Yeah, he was like maybe on an independent show overseas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's like the rare interview. It's a rare interview where you hear him talking. When you hear him talk, he sounds like the Usos, man.
They all sound alike.
He sounds like the Usos.
Just like sounds like a chill dude, man.
But he did talk when he turned babyface.
He did.
He turned babyface a little bit. Yeah, we would have to again look up.
Okay. I don't remember that.
Babyface Yoko.
Okay. Who did he turn babyface on?
We'd have to look at
Cornette, maybe.
Maybe Cornette. Yes.
Yeah. Wow.
And I remember like he was cutting a promo and he said something like, "I'm the foundation," and he sounded so tough. Like he does not sound Japanese at all.
Yeah. Like wait a minute.
Yeah. So.
And the Usos also said that the first time they saw their uncle like Yoko, like like Yoko, like that's Unc, and they're like, he's Japanese.
Yeah. And another funny story when Yoko came over, I believe, to the Usos' houses. And he was walking, or the Usos' grandparents, or one of the relatives' houses that the Usos were at. He was walking in the kitchen, and they heard the boards.
Oh my god!
Like cracking, and they said something like, "Oh, this isn't gonna be good."
Yeah. Oh my gosh, man! Can't even imagine.
Oh man, but Yoko, I would have, like I said, I would have loved to have met him.
Yeah, and I remember like again back to the shoot interview that he did, they were asking him like, "Oh, how did you get brought up in this business?" He's like, "Man, I got cousins in the business, man. Like, you know, like they're Headshrinkers, and like he just sounded like such a chill dude. Yeah. I can't do an impersonation of him, but
no, that's exactly
great,
how he sounded. And I think he might have been the reason why he wore red was I don't know if he was affiliated with the Bloods.
Oh wow! Yeah, I didn't know that.
I don't know. I'm not making it up.
Sure.
I read it somewhere.
Yes.
I don't know how true that is, but that's like one of the reasons why he wore red.
Well, one thing for sure, he was associated with BSK.
BSK. yes.
The what is it called? The bone. What is it? Do you know?
I don't know.
But, you know, with Undertaker, Savio Vega, Kama Mustafa.
Henry Godwin,
people
like Henry Godwin, I loved him. I loved his work, but he was like probably a B-League, C-League guy. I consider myself a B-League, C-League guy, but sometimes the B-League, C-League guys are the coolest guys to freaking hang out with. And they're hanging out with Hogan and this guy and that guy, but, you know, that was the crew.
Yeah, there was the Clique, and then there was BSK, but like that was pretty cool. Like I saw like a picture of them. I don't know if they're like in the tour bus or something.
Tour bus, yes.
But all of them were just like hanging out, and
that's
a rare picture of Taker 96 being himself. You know, that was really cool, man.
Yeah.
So after Yokozuna, The next breakout star that came to WWF was Rocky Maivia, aka The Rock, aka Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah.
And of course, we all know that he started with the name Rocky Maivia to pay homage to his dad and to his grandpa. And I remember his first WrestleMania 13, was against Fatu when Rikishi was the Sultan.
Yes.
And if I'm not mistaken, I don't know, don't quote me on this, but I told you this already. The character, the Sultan, originally was supposed to be for Sabu.
Oh, Sabu, really?
Yeah, because at that time I think they wanted him to be in WWE, but then at that time WWE didn't hire stars; they created stars, so they couldn't accept Sabu as him from ECW. They want to build him up as their own star, so they wanted him to have that Sultan gimmick. So he turned it down, and they gave it to Rikishi. Shaved his head, had the fake ponytail in the back of the mask. But yeah, that must be a really cool experience for The Rock, having his first WrestleMania match against someone who he's like comfortable with, right?
Exactly. Being comfortable. And hey, Rikishi is a type of guy, he just rolls with it.
Yeah.
I remember when he did what was he called? John Fatu, he was making a difference.
Oh yeah.
So like he's
coming out with hip hop music.
Yeah, exactly. I loved
all.
all of them. I think he posted recently a throwback picture, and I said, "Oh man, I loved you when you were doing the Make a Difference," and that's like something like
True to himself,
and in today's version could be like the Block the Hate movement. That's kind of pretty much what I was leaning towards, you know.
Right.
Block the hate, make a difference. It's all love, but yeah, Rikishi did it all. And as a Sultan, I was a huge fan. He would have great matches with him and Savio Vega.
Yeah.
But yeah, being comfortable. Rikishi's job was to, make The Rock look good, and he definitely did.
Do you remember who his manager was as the Sultan? Clarence Mason?
Oh, probably Clarence Mason, yes.
Right, okay.
Yes.
And going back to this whole Make a Difference gimmick, again, why I say that it was true life was because he said that he actually either got stabbed or shot in the stomach, right? Mm-hmm. And that's why he has that scar.
Yeah.
But I guess he had like a rough upbringing, and then, he made something out of himself.
Those guys are tough as nails. The Usos, their dad was tough on them,
Were they?
Yeah, they were tough. One story I think he recently talked about.
Okay.
The Usos, dad would be on the road, and dad come home from work early in the morning. The Usos sleeping. The dad says, "Wake up, come on, dance."
Oh yeah, that's right. I saw that. Yeah, they go like, "Dance, come on, dance."
They just dance, and they all tired, and dancing. I'm
so
like,
funny,
man, and doing yard work,
man.
They were. But look at them; they're doing great for themselves.
Yeah.
But yeah, that upbringing is tough. I didn't have it easy, so
yeah.
I didn't have it easy. My punk ass, my mom would put boxing gloves on.
That's right. You told me this.
Yeah. So I didn't have it easy at all. She definitely toughened me up.
And we all know how successful The Rock became in his career.
Everything he touches, he's got that Midas touch. Everything he touches turns to gold, man. He's amazing.
I think he's 8-time WWE champion, and I don't know if that's counting the WCW championship, but maybe overall 9-time world champion. But yeah, man, his career, he was like my favorite wrestler after Shawn Michaels. I can't do it anymore, but I had junior high, I had the best Rock impersonation.
You can do it, motherfucker.
No, I can't. I lost it. It used to be way better. I lost it.
You can do it.
But he was so great, man. I enjoy like the little subtle uniqueness that he had, like the whole, when he rocked his boots and his calves were showing.
Oh yes,
that's the first time I ever saw that in a wrestler. So stuff like that, and when he came as Rocky Maivia, the whole the entrance gear he had on, it looked like a bunch of ribbons, streamers going down. I actually liked that look. That was really cool.
Absolutely.
The Rock was amazing, man, and it's just so crazy how much longevity he has, from 1996 to still now, 2019, and he's still, if not better than ever, One
of my favorite feuds with The Rock was him and Triple H.
Of course.
And they really put SmackDown on the map. They really put SmackDown on the map when they were going back and forth. Him and Mick Foley with ratings on SmackDown. It's the highest ratings ever on SmackDown.
That's
was the Rock and Sock connection. So Rock could do it all.
So I learned something new a few days ago with The Rock and Triple H. Do you remember WrestleMania 32 when it was Triple H versus Sting?
Yes.
Okay. The reason why Sting lost was because they were setting up for Triple H versus The Rock in the next WrestleMania. So they wanted, I know this sounds really, I don't know why they did it, but they wanted to make Triple H look strong. And, like he got put over instead of Sting to build up The Rock and Triple H match. But obviously it didn't happen because of scheduling conflicts or whatever. But that's the reason why Sting didn't win, man.
Oh, he's your favorite, huh?
One of my favorites, yeah. And this was Triple H said it, like Triple H and Road Dogg, I saw it in an interview, and he said maybe it should have gone the other way. But the reason why he lost was to set up Rock and Triple H next WrestleMania.
Well, honestly, I still hope it happens.
Yeah.
Even if they do a anything goes. I said I would have loved to have seen Austin and Triple H this year.
Yeah.
It was Batista and Triple H, which was amazing. But yeah, I would definitely love to. For some reason, I would love to see them not in a normal match. I want to see them just brawl.
Well, the reason why that is obviously no offense to these guys, but guys like Batista, who's a well-seasoned veteran, they can't be on top of their game inside the ring anymore. We're not gonna get a classic 5-star wrestling match with Batista or Triple H today.
Is this your opinion?
My opinion.
Okay.
So that's why, to make it more entertaining and to tell a better story, stuff needs to happen outside of the ring to create that built moment.
Just like when Triple H was prying at his hands and stuff like that, little manipulation stuff for the cameras.
Yes, yeah, that's right, against Batista. That's why it makes sense that you feel like
Hunter didn't hit that bump in the corner, he didn't flip over.
Are you talking about the Saudi Arabia?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't do that.
Yeah, no, he didn't. He learned his lesson.
Well, it's just very fearful. You don't want to get re-hurt again.
Yeah, man.
And I would always do that. I would always do that on live events and even TV matches.
Yeah.
And he would always compliment me. He would always say, "Oh yeah, that's a nice bump you took in the corner." I said, "Hey man, I'm just trying to." Again, I'm a fan.
Yeah, sure. So after The Rock, the next Samoan family members are 3-minute warning. Remember that?
Oh.
Jamal and Rosie Jamal, also known as Umaga.
Jamal was with Hurricane.
Rosie was with Hurricane.
Rosie was with
Jamal became Umaga, and then Rosie was with Hurricane, and he became superheroes in training.
Yeah.
SHIT.
Amazing work by the two.
Yeah.
Very kind to me when I was a local Backstage. Umaga, who the Samoan Dynasty I'm repping tonight. A very frightening story about Umaga was, I remember the male talent locker room being full.
Okay.
And at the time, male extras couldn't get dressed with male talent anymore because someone moved Teddy Long's stuff, I believe.
Oh,
and
wow.
JBL kicked the guy out the locker room, so that's when locals couldn't get dressed.
Yeah.
With the male talent. So we had our own locker room. It was sometimes in the bathroom. It was just sometimes in awkward places.
Yeah.
So the male talent locker room was full. So one TV, Umaga comes in and he's looking and he said, "Hey guys, you guys got any room in here?" And everyone's like, "We're all extras. Sure, come in, come in." So he sits down and he was just so clean. He had a hotel towel. He put it down because he would be barefooted. Well, he'd have flip flops. He'd take off his flip flops.
Yeah.
And then he was just very clean, brushing his teeth as he's sitting down. Very clean for a big guy.
That's a Samoan bulldozer for you.
Yeah, the Samoan bulldozer is tough, mean, big guy. He's just so clean and just so nice and kind. And we were all a nervous wreck because we wanted to give him his space, but he was just really cool with us.
Yeah, and I told you this too. I also had a unique and memorable experience with Umaga too backstage, and at the time it was already Umaga, and me and my wife got invited to go backstage to catering. So we were eating, and we were sitting with Ric Flair's ex-wife and some other wife who I didn't know, but in the corner was Jeff Hardy and Randy Orton watching their last match they had on Raw. It was a steel cage match and just going over it, and literally I'm sitting right here next to me is like Triple H and John Cena having like a conversation, and Umaga passed by, and he's the only one that made conversation with us. Like, hey, are you guys liking the food? Oh, I'll take that back. He wasn't the only one. But he's like, hey, how was the food? I'm like, oh, it's great, man. It's great. Everything's great. But he's like, oh, you ain't got a lot to kick it. The food sucks around here. And he just like walked off, and it was so cool, man.
And he is wrong. I have to disagree with him because I actually love the catering.
Back then, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, I was a local, so I've seen it. I thought it was great.
What do they have? What kind of stuff? Like steak?
It always changes, but top of the line.
Okay.
When they have crab legs or something like
what?
that.
You guys are fancy,
yeah.
Really? Whoa.
When they have stuff like that, I don't eat that crab leg stuff.
Yeah.
But Titus, it just loads up. I just crack up.
If it's free, man.
Free 99.
Yeah, go for it.
I love the catering. And even like going from city to city, if the food's fresh, they have to-go trays, and you just load up and pack some food for the hotel. That's how you save.
Yeah, did you hear what The Miz had to say about like catering and like food recently?
Recently,
yeah. So he said that he used to like make fun of Sheamus for bringing his own food, right? For like meal prepping and all that.
Nutrition solutions.
Yeah, when like he just eats like catering food and like he's good to go. But now that he's working as a baby face, he has to work differently and he has to move around more. And he needs to be lighter on his feet. So now Miz said this. So now like he's actually contemplating like, okay, so that's why like Sheamus like did the meal prep thing, and like it's something that he might consider now because he can't be that I'm using the word lazy loosely, but he can't be that like lazy heel that just, gets like that takes bumps here and there. He has to be the baby face that does a lot of the work now, you know? So I thought that was pretty interesting for him to say.
Yeah, I mean, either way, the meal prep company or the catering, you can get away with eating decent.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. Like, there's tons of leftovers. There's no other catering like WWE catering. Because when they have concerts, they're like, you go to, let's say, Bruno Mars, and he's performing in LA, and you go in their area where people are eating, it's not going to be WWE spread.
Sure.
So a lot of that stuff is like leftover, and I can see like pterodactyls, the union workers, which I'm guilty of. Yeah. The union workers just load up and stuff like that. Anytime they would be in Tampa. Yeah. And this is when I'm signed. Anytime they would be in Tampa or wherever I was living, I drive there, and after everyone leaves, I go into catering, and like, bro, there's tons of water. There's like 1,000 bottles of water. There's like tons of unopened cans. That's gonna go to waste. Yeah. So I'm gonna bring that home with me.
Did you hear the story of Ezekiel Jackson?
With the peanut butter sandwiches? Bro,
I got kids.
Bro,
I got kids.
That is a true story. If there's anything true that comes out of my mouth, that is true.
I might have actually heard that from you now that I'm thinking about it.
Probably, but that was a laughing. When we get Titus on, we'll have to bring that up. We have so many stories, but yeah, he would like take them home, but they were for himself. And again,
those are great, by the way. Uncrustables,
and I'm guilty of it too. I was doing it more as an extra. That's the only thing I would take as an extra. Yeah, leftover Uncrustables.
Oh my God,
I would take them, but I wouldn't take them when I was signed because I wanted to look good. But I was
your big league.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. Yeah, man. You know how many calories those damn things have?
Dude, I get it. It's dangerous, man. I get the hazelnut. Have you tried the chocolate hazelnut? Instead of the PB&J filling, it's like chocolate hazelnut inside.
I guess they've made newer flavors and stuff like that.
It's the best. It is the best. But yeah, now I'm hungry. But anyways, 3-minute warning, man. Like they came in with Eric Bischoff. You remember that?
And I was afraid of them.
Yeah, they look like vicious animals, man.
their finish was a pop-up like Samoan type deal.
I don't remember. Wasn't it a big splash or something?
Oh yeah, they would do that, but they were very innovative with how they. That was the first time I ever saw a pop-up Samoan. Usually it's like the Samoan, like The Rock. You know, The Rock don't pop the guy up, but these guys are.
Are you talking about the Samoan drop? Like, did they like throw him up and then?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Like tag team type stuff.
I remember them doing that. But yeah, like we touched on it earlier, Umaga became very successful and became the Intercontinental Champion.
One of my favorite feuds, him and Jeff Hardy.
That's right.
Those are matches I studied to work with someone like Fala.
They also did a few things like on top of a big truck too, right? Like one of the pay-per-views or something when they had like a street fight or something like that.
Well, you're watching more for the street fight. I'm trying to watch how Jeff Hardy as a babyface fights from up under.
Oh, okay,
like that Shawn Michaels fight. He has a way of, I love how he fights. Sympathy. Yeah. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for no damn truck.
You're not looking for cool spots. You're looking for
I'm looking for stuff
psychology.
I can do. Psychology stuff.
Yeah.
That is psychology. I'm looking for stuff I can do in the ring.
Yeah. Can't be mad at you for that, man. Doing your job, shoot. But I'm sure you guys know this, but Rosie is Roman Reigns' big brother, and to me they look alike, man. They really look alike. Just like obviously Rosie is heavier, but their face, like they could be twins too. And R.I.P. Rosie, he passed away because of heart attack.
Heart attack. Awful. And the OG referee Mike Kyoto, that was like one of his best friends. A lot of guys loved him. Swagger. I think everyone loved him.
Yeah.
So I think it was very, very, very tough news for everyone. I think he might have said no to rehab too, which is unfortunate. I'm glad WWE has its rehab policy because it saves lives.
Yeah.
It's just unfortunate.
Yeah, that's true. Scott Hall got sent to rehab on WWE's money many times, right?
Yeah, that's what happens for life. If someone has an issue,
take care of them like family.
WWE will take care of you. So he denied it. It's just, man, just imagine where he would have been now. I mean,
that was true.
So I don't know if he's in the Hall of Fame, but
Rosie,
Umaga.
No, he's not. And it was weird when he also passed away. WWE didn't mention it. They didn't do any the next Raw. They didn't have rest in peace and honor of Umaga.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and a lot of people were mad about that. How come you're not acknowledging his death? That's just really weird.
Yeah, he passed away. He wasn't signed anymore.
I don't think he was signed anymore.
He had left.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, man. It's terrible. It's terrible.
That's a really nice Umaga hoodie, though.
Yeah, I mean,
it's really clean.
It's so bold. It just stands out.
It's thin too, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's
really
almost
thin.
like a long sleeve T-shirt with a hoodie on.
It's a large too. I don't like
dope.
stuff. I like that European look. So I like the stuff
snug,
snug and fitted. So I love wearing this. Rikishi was kind enough to personally send me this. I'm a huge fan of him. If he's a bucket list match of mine. Rikishi.
Well, he's still working, so it's gonna happen.
He still does his things, and he even has young up and coming kids.
He's still producing sons, man.
Yeah,
he's got little soldiers.
Exactly, man. It's just amazing. I think he reopened his school.
Yeah, somewhere
in the Sherman Oaks area, I think.
And I think his youngest son, his name is Samson, and he's probably 10 years old now.
Oh,
and
really?
Because I follow him on Instagram, and I remember back in the day, Samson was holding a Roman Reigns action figure when Roman just kind of broke into WWE as the Shield. And speaking of Rikishi, you also trained Rusev, right?
Yes.
I actually thought when I first saw Rusev, for one, he looks Samoan, and two, I thought he was actually related to Rikishi because they kind of look alike, the same facial structure a little bit. But yeah, man, Rikishi's so amazing, so underrated.
And a great trainer. Obviously, he produced the Usos and Rusev and probably a plethora of other people.
How's the relationship with Rikishi and the Usos? Is it do they have a little bit of? I mean, you don't have to the dirty laundry or whatever, but just coming from my perspective, seeing Total Divas or whatever, it just seems like there's this little awkwardness between them, especially with Rikishi not showing up to Jonathan and Trinity's wedding, and also I don't know how staged that was, but also on Total Divas when Jonathan told his dad that, hey dad, I'm getting married. And it wasn't like, yeah, he was happy for them, but it was a moment where he's like, okay, well, I'm sorry, this kind of took me off guard, and I just need a minute to let it like simmer. This is like out of nowhere for me, but but he finished it off like, but hey, I'm happy for the both of you. But what a weird reaction! What a weird reaction, man.
Yeah, I think there could have been some issues there.
Okay.
It could have been some issues.
Yeah, dude, it was just weird, and like. Also like during their wedding, Jay was like saying, even though Dad's not here, man, like Jay was crying, like, oh, I got you, this is like this is your day, and they had like a nice moment. But yeah, it was weird. I want to know more about it. Actually, get the tea on that. I'm just kidding.
Yes.
But yeah, man. After the 3-minute warning, it was Roman Reigns. He broke in with you, right?
Yeah, he broke in. He was down at the not the Performance Center, FCW in Tampa, Florida. So I consider him like a Dr. Tom Pritchard guy. And I remember him being very quiet. I remember him getting dressed in like a very dark corner.
He used to look like Rosie too, man.
He was heavier.
He was heavy, and he lost, he had to lose a lot of weight. But he was in shape during like his high school year. He had that like star quality, but as life happened, I'm sure like maybe like personal things happened to him where he just stopped taking care of himself. And he admitted that he got like big, but then he started working on himself, and lost the weight.
Roman?
Yeah.
And I think I was one of his first matches.
Oh, that's cool. Who went over?
No, it was like a 6-man.
Oh, got it.
It was like a 6-man. So I just remember him being in those trunks.
Yeah.
He didn't have the Shield stuff on.
He had kind of like a Billy Gunn trunk, right? Where it's just like shorts, but not like tighty whities.
I don't think he had bikers.
No?
That's what they call it. They're
Bikers?
Trunks, bikers, or what Billy Gunn had. And the long trunks are like what...
You sure? Everyone else?
Yeah. The tights are what I have.
Okay. So he was wearing tights?
Yeah, he was wearing tights from what I remember.
Okay. How was he in FCW? Was he
he was
good worker?
Yeah, he was quiet and he was learning. He was new. He was a newbie. He was learning, and obviously he's still learning.
Yeah.
But he was getting those reps in, and he was just always smiling, having a good time, just very carefree, just like he always is backstage.
Yeah. He has that it factor, he definitely has the look. When he wrestles, you can definitely tell he tells a great story. He has the emotions, he's got like the facial expressions, but there's still something about it where like whenever I'm watching him, it's like it still in a way doesn't come off as genuine because just of the way that how WWE like shoves them in your face, like I'm not a hater. Like I love Roman Reigns and I think he's a great wrestler, but I don't know, man. Like I just don't. I feel like I don't need to root for him because he's good. I don't know if that makes sense. Like,
well, some people are jealous of the way he looks and the way he's such a top person.
Sure.
People wish that they could be like him.
Yeah.
So let your haters be your motivators.
Yeah.
So people are gonna shit on him because they wish that they could be him.
It's true, man. He's definitely got everything, man. And next is his cousins, which is my personal favorite out of the whole Samoan Dynasty, the Usos, that we kind of talked about in the beginning of the podcast a little bit.
Yeah.
But fun fact, I don't know if you knew this, but either John or Josh, their first appearance in WWE was in 98.
Oh, 98?
It was one of them. And it was during a segment with Stone Cold Steve Austin and Santa Claus.
Oh, wow.
So it was a heel Santa Claus, and it was like Christmas episode on Raw, and Santa Claus had like, oh, come here, little boy. And it was so weird because he had long hair. I don't know. I mean, let's just say it was Jimmy or whatever. He had like long hair and a ponytail, and he had a hat. I'm like, wait, watching it as a kid, like, that's not a little boy. Like, he looked like a girl. But like, yeah, he came up there like, and like, sit on my lap and like, blah, blah, blah. And then one of the Usos goes, you ain't Santa. Like,
goodness.
But it was like literally like 10-year-old either John or Josh on Raw I think we'll find it. There's like a footage on it.
I want to see it.
Maybe you'll be able to tell which one it was.
Yes, I probably will.
I think they look more alike as kids than they do now. If you look back at old pictures, like even like their high school pictures, you know, I don't know which one's which. But did you hear that they used to play jokes on their girlfriends and they used to switch?
Oh, damn.
How crazy is that?
I probably did hear it, but I just was too elevated, if you know what I mean.
Oh, sure. Sure. And you travel with them, right?
Oh, I traveled with them miles, man, thousands of miles for years. When we all got up on the road, doing NXT and just doing WWE stuff in general, we would travel together. We would carpool. Sometimes it'd be the four of us. It would be me, the Usos, and maybe Serona, Tamina Snuka, or Trinity. And I remember this one snowstorm, like we were stuck somewhere. Again, we were stuck somewhere in upstate New York, and flights were being canceled, and the only flight we could get on was on a flight to like Newark, New Jersey airport. Okay. So we had like we had 6 hours to get to this airport, and it was like maybe a 4 or so hour drive, and snow was like crazy, and the highways were pretty decent. In Serona, I was in the I would think I was in the back seat. One of the brothers was in the maybe Jay was in the front seat. Jimmy was in the back seat with me, and like Serona is flooring it, like going 90 miles an hour. Yikes. And like if you're me and I'm Jimmy Uso is like looking to see, like, because we could slide at any minute. Yeah. We're like going like 80, 90 miles an hour, because when you're on the road, like for so long, you want to get home and kind of recharge, and like, of course, you know. So like when we found out that we would have to drive, we raced to New Jersey, and we made the flight and everything. But we were so scared, and how Mark Henry. That's one story. And how Mark Henry really got to love me was because we were stuck in MSG. And it was me and the Usos driving to the next city. And Mark Henry needed a ride. So I said, oh, Mark, come with me. You know? So we were in like a Dodge Charger. The Usos were in the back. It was my fucking rental car. And Mark Henry was in the passenger seat. Yeah. And like we were getting stuck in this fucking Charger, you know, and Mark Henry gets out and he's like pushing, like, oh my gosh, man, I'm stuck. Mark Henry's we're out the car, and Mark's pushing like the door. I feel is gonna just snap, you know, and we're getting out of the snow. I'm a good snow driver. Mark's from the South, so he doesn't really know how to drive in the snow. So the Usos don't know how to drive in the snow, so everyone loves driving with me because I rock everyone to sleep. You know, people that ride with me that relax, calm drive, they fall asleep. They fall asleep because I'm a good driver. I love driving. I love being in control. So it was just so funny. I got us to where we needed to get to in this terrible snowstorm, and Mark was so appreciative that for years, 4 or 5 years, Yoko was driven by Mark Henry, and then I was driving Mark Henry around. That's cool. And his wife would always thank me, say, "Oh, thank you so much for driving Mark," because Mark was, a little older. He wants to relax. He wants to play his tunes. He wants to play his Grand Theft Auto. Wow, he's a gamer, huh? Game. In the sound, like the sound where like in the rental car, I hear his game playing. This is when I was like first nervous driving with Mark Henry. So I'm driving and I hear all this shooting and stuff like that for hours. Pop, pop. But it's annoying. I'm like driving. I was like, Mark, can we listen to some relaxing R&B music? I'm gonna fall asleep. So just driving with Mark Henry and the Usos. I've really enjoyed my career in WWE, but it's really the stories outside of the ring that have made me the person I am. When I came out publicly, the Usos, the Samoan culture embraced me with open arms, and they loved me even more, the Usos. That's so cool, man. They loved me even more. So I got nothing but love for those guys.
Do you remember the last interview they did with Chris, and they asked, who usually drives, Jimmy or Jay? And it's like Trinity.
Yeah, and I was cracking up. I think I posted that scene on my story because it's the truth.
Yeah.
Trinity just does all the driving, and those guys. Jay is knocked out in the back seat. Those guys just chill.
That's cool.
Yeah,
man.
it's all love with those guys.
So the last member, well, for now, of the Samoan Dynasty is Nia Jax, and I was trying to see how they're related, and apparently her dad is the cousin of Peter Maivia, so she's more related to The Rock than the Usos and everyone.
Okay.
But yeah, man, like Nia Jax, again, just like Roman Reigns, has the it factor.
Oh, I love Nia.
Has the look, she's getting like a great push. But before we started the podcast, I told you that I heard some news that she might be out for a year because she tore both of her like ACLs.
Well, we're on the road a lot, man. Yeah. So you're doing this 300 days plus a year, and your body the beating takes a toll on you. This is what we signed up for. So I think this year off is good.
Yeah.
She's still young. She'll probably maybe change her look up a little bit.
I know, right?
She could come back smaller and more like jacked.
Right.
And even more beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Maybe like Beth Phoenix vibe, like muscles.
You never know. And that's what I hope, because having that weight on the knees is too much.
Yeah.
I know right now as we speak, I'm 220 pounds. My heaviest was almost 290.
Okay.
That's my worst year, 2007,
Yeah.
But yeah, 220, 225 on the dot. I feel safe. My knees feel good.
Yeah.
In WWE, my heaviest was 240.
Okay.
So I feel great. Having all that weight on your knees is too much sometimes. So I'd definitely love to see how she looks in a year. And
that'd be cool.
And I'm sure she can do it because she is a beast in the gym.
Yeah.
I've seen her work out, and she's a big supporter of the Block the Hate movement. So all love for her.
And, I remember watching an interview for her, and she was thinking of the concept of her outfit. And the outfit that she has on is inspired by Beyonce. And so, that like almost looks like a spacesuit, right? But she didn't think about it like that. She's like, oh, this is more of a Beyonce look. But everyone is asking her, like, why do you have a spacesuit on when you wrestle? It's like, no, it's supposed to be for Beyonce inspired. But that was the reason. I thought that was a funny story. But man, the Samoan Dynasty, man, if I counted everyone, it would probably be 16 of them, huh?
Yeah, there's a bunch of them. I believe Jimmy Snuka has some relation with some kind of relation with the
really
with the Samoan family because Tamina Snuka, she's got some relation with The Rock and that. We'd have to look into it.
They're connected in some way?
Yeah, they're connected in some way.
Okay.
Exactly.
Well, I mean, I know they consider them family, but I just didn't know legally.
They're connected some way. I just don't know how.
Yeah, but man, that's why I feel like the Samoan Dynasty is the best wrestling family for me because there's just so many of them, and all of them, a lot of them are champions. They've created memorable moments. Come on, The Rock. Again, running back Roman Reigns, Usos, Yokozuna, Headshrinkers, and all. Just to think that all this is coming from one family, it's nuts, man.
And again, people on the independents. There's some on the independents that are grinding, and you'll be seeing them.
Yeah.
Maybe AEW or somewhere. You'll definitely be seeing some somewhere.
And the Usos' brother, he's training, right?
He's training. Yeah, exactly.
And again, like I said earlier, Jimmy's Pops. Pops is still producing,
exactly.
He's still making wrestlers.
Yes. Yes.
Which is funny.
Yes.
Can you guys hear that? That's my cat Barry. He wants to make a little cat. Your mom didn't call, so I guess it's only fair that.
And even if she did call, I would get to we needed to get to business. But is Barry okay?
Barry, yeah, he should be good. I've heard that noise before.
Maybe he's hungry.
No, he's well fed. But that's a Samoan Dynasty family, man. Who's out of everyone? Who's the most memorable for you? If you had to pick, let's take The Rock out. That's an obvious choice.
Yeah, because that was going to be number one.
Yeah, growing up, or even now, maybe.
I've always enjoyed Yoko.
Yoko, yeah.
I've always enjoyed Yoko. Yeah. he was. I think he's won the Royal Rumble. I just loved his presence. I just loved his demeanor.
Yeah.
With Mr. Fuji, and I just loved his work top to bottom.
Mm-hmm. For me, it would have to be Rikishi because there's so many different phases of Rikishi.
Yeah.
You know, from the Headshrinkers to like the whole Make a Difference to the Sultan to the Too Cool with the Dancing, you know, which is amazing.
You can't forget the Samoan SWAT team and the NWA, WCW.
Yeah, I need to see that. I didn't know that even existed.
We'll definitely look into it. It was back in the late 80s. So, yeah, he's a pioneer. He's an OG.
And do you remember when he turned heel and he changed his music? I'm a bad man.
Loved it. Slowed it down.
He had that like FUBU gear on and everything.
Yes.
I'm glad he had a IC run, man. Like he got his like, you know, like outside of Too Cool.
Yes.
That was pretty cool.
Yes.
And like I did it for The Rock.
Oh.
I did it for my people.
when he ran down Austin.
Yeah. I heard that was supposed to be someone else too, and they like switched it up last minute. I forgot who it was supposed to be.
Well, that's WWE, you know, stuff happens like that.
And I remember like as a kid thinking that was Billy Gunn. Because they kept on saying someone with blonde hair. And that was like a great like swerve for it to be Rikishi. Because no one suspected Rikishi, man. That was really cool.
No one.
But anyways, I think that wraps it up for today's episode. I love talking about the Samoan family, man.
I love it. And I'm sure they'll see it, the Usos. They know how much love I got for them.
Yeah. Too many like good people in that family. Too many talent. So hopefully...
Too many.
Rikishi, you know... get some love and time with his wife and produce some more babies, and like, you know, Roman's kids, they're never gonna run out.
Sure.
Thank you guys so much for watching this episode. Don't forget to subscribe to us on iTunes as well at Pro and Bro Wrestling. And if you enjoy what you hear, you know, feel free to give us a 5-star rating and also write us a review and tell us how we can improve this podcast, or, you know, we'll definitely take that into consideration. And I'm gonna leave some stuff for you this time around. That's all I'm gonna say.
I don't know
Go
what
ahead, finish
stuff
it.
we gotta say, but
finish it.
As always, this is a great therapy session for me. A great way for me to talk about wrestling with my bro from around the corner at the compound. I'm excited for the future guests that we have.
Yes.
I'm excited to get Makazi, who's the mastermind, the brains behind a lot of the outfits that we see on pay-per-views and big-time pay-per-views, which always excited me as a kid, the costumes. So I want to get his perspective and his insight. So that'll be a fun one.
Yep.
Titus O'Neil, we'll definitely connect with him. Also, Romy Rome's the coolest kid on the block from Chicago, big WWE fan, a big Block to Hate youth supporter. Yeah, I think it's very tough, like, to kind of organize this. And I think from the start, I don't think we were going to be heavy with guests, right?
We'll take it as it goes, man.
Again, this is just supposed to be fun, but I would definitely want to hear Makazi's story.
Yeah.
I definitely want to be able to talk to Titus and you ask him questions and just have fun.
Yeah.
I want to be able to laugh. This is really fun therapy for me. And hopefully it inspires other people. I want it to.
Yeah,
because you know, that's what it's all about, bro. Just inspiring and impacting, you know, our youth, our wrestling fans, and just thanks to everyone who just follows us and keep helping spread the word, baby. Block the hate, salute the great.
See you guys next time.